Welcome to this video series on best practices for using the new AutoCAD Utility Design. This series is based on information in DL Consulting's comprehensive training for AutoCAD Utility Design. In this case, content from the material for training end users. As you work with AutoCAD Utility Design, the software can automatically validate your design choices. My goal in this video is to help you understand the validation results that are presented in AutoCAD Utility Design. Let's say we have a design. I'll sketch one quickly here. As this design is created, various messages automatically appear on the Validation Results tab of the dashboard palette. Great. So let's go in and take a closer look at the various validation result messages. You can immediately see that there are several types of information. For example, here's a message, here's an ignored message, here's a failure, and here's a warning. What does all this mean? What's the difference? Okay, let me start by drilling down on this single line here. Pole head connecting message. Each of these header lines has two parts. On the left is the type of rule. This will help you identify the particular issue being validated. The second half, which appears here in orange, indicates the validation results severity. There are 5 possible options for severity. The first is failure, which means that the problem, whatever it is unacceptable for design and it must be fixed. Now it's important to note that when failure messages occur, there may be additional validation problems that will not even be identified until this failure is resolved. Warning messages are potential problems, and messages here are simply to inform you of an action that can be taken. Based on your engineering judgment, you might want to ignore warnings or messages, which is why there are 2 additional severity values for ignored warning and ignored message. Great. Now let's look at the second line that appears on each message. Let's analyze this line shown here. The first thing listed is the feature type. Every object in AUD has a specific type with specific behaviors. And in this case, we're looking at a pole. The second field lists the model name for, in this case, the pole. The model name determines all of the specific attributes for the object. In this case, it turns out it's a 40-foot wooden Class 4 pole. The third field is the specific FID, or feature identifier, for this object. Now, this all could use a bit more explanation. Every object in utility design has a FID, or feature identifier. The FID is a unique internal identifier. The FID can be quite useful, as AUD often uses the FID to refer to specific design objects. So for example, here you can see that in the next message there are 2 FIDs referenced, and you'll know therefore exactly which pole heads are being referred to. Now the next thing I want to touch on isn't visible unless you select one of the validation messages. In many cases, you'll see one or more icons appear to the right, as shown right here. These icons represent actions that you can take for the given validation result. There are 3 that you'll commonly see. The first is the ignore icon. Selecting this icon allows you to convert the severity of a warning message or a message to be ignored warning or ignored message. The second only appears for ignored warnings and messages, and basically it allows you to undo the ignore setting. Finally, there's the little tool icon that means you want to resolve the validation issue. When you select this, a small dialog box appears with options that will provide you assistance to address the failure, warning, or message. That's it for this short video. Of course, in DL Consulting's full user training, there's a tremendous amount more of information available about the overall validation process, including details on various ways of resolving problems and examples for students to perform. The new AutoCAD Utility Design is a great product. If you're doing electric utility design, it's worth getting. Now, are you looking for more information? I got a few things here. First, Autodesk lets you download AutoCAD Utility Design for a free 30-day trial. To get it, you go to autodesk.com/AUD and then click on the Product Trial button, as you see here. Autodesk also has a whole bunch of what they call trial experience tutorials. Now the URL is way too long to show. The best way to find them is to just type AUD Trial Experience Tutorials into Google and then click on the first item that appears. And when you get serious about AutoCAD Utility Design, go to dlconsulting.net and check out our training and service offerings. Great, and thanks for listening.